Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
I will sign a bill to open our government for 3 weeks until February 15th. I will make sure that all employees receive their back pay very quickly or as soon as possible.
President Trump has reached a tentative deal with Congress to finally end the partial government shutdown. The plan provides a window for border negotiations to continue and allows thousands of federal workers to get paid. Mola Lenghi has the latest from the White House.
President Trump endorsed a short-term plan to reopen the government until February 15th.
I will make sure that all employees receive their back pay very quickly.
Today's tentative agreement does not contain money for the president's long-sought border wall.
This is an opportunity for all parties to work together.
The president says he could still declare a national emergency if Democrats don't come to the table.
If we don't get a fair deal from Congress, the government will either shut down on February 15th again, or I will use the powers afforded to me under the laws and the Constitution of the United States to address this emergency.
The president, along with lawmakers on both sides, came under increased pressure to reach a deal as the effects of the shutdown rippled across the nation. On Friday, multiple airports experienced delays due to a shortage of air traffic controllers.
Our airports will get back on track. We'll resume maintenance of our cherished national parks, and the IRS can issue tax refunds in a timely manner.
The president has asked Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to bring the plan to the floor immediately for a vote.
With cooperation, we can pass legislation opening the government and send the DHS appropriations bill to a conference with the House today.
About 800,000 government workers have gone without pay for more than a month. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
President Trump had delayed his scheduled State of the Union address until after the partial government shutdown is over. An officer-involved shooting that left a Red Lake, Minnesota man dead has been deemed legally justified by the Beltrami County State's Attorney. Today, we are getting a closer look at dash cam and body cam video of that shooting. Documents state that a normal traffic stop on the night of November 28th in Bemidji led to a struggle between an officer and a man who had a felony warrant out for his arrest. 34-year-old Vernon May of Red Lake died on the scene. Body cam video shows Bemidji police officer Bidel Duran repeatedly trying to talk down May, and May answers with "shoot me." Officer Duran, fearing for his life, fired his gun 9 times, and Beltrami County Deputy Brandon Newhouse fired his gun once. The report states that all of the shots were fired within 5 seconds of each other. There's still no word on whether Officer Duran is back at work. Did the sunshine today make you forget about the bitterly cold weather? Yeah, maybe not, but it seemed to help a little bit.
Not at all.
We're going to really feel those below zero temps tonight.
Yeah, once again, there were some pretty brutal air temperatures this morning. Here's a look at northern Minnesota. This is where the coldest air mass was, with temperatures flirting with and hitting 35 below zero. The coldest wind chills. Big winners are the Devil's Lake Basin and the northern Red River Valley, where we were in the 40s below. Wind chill advisory once again for many of our counties as we go through the overnight hours. Currently, from the Red River and points east, wind chills are 20 below already. Temperatures will hit near 20 below by about 11 o'clock tonight. So it's going to be another brutal night, particularly from the Red River and points east. Grand Forks, temperatures in the teens to near 20 below as well. We have cold air to talk about. We have snow to talk about. We even have some ice to talk about. So we'll do all of that here in just a few moments.
Didn't the sunshine help just a wee bit?
No.
It was nice to see, wasn't it?
I'm just going to say for my friends out there, and I don't speak for everyone.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Thanks, Hutch.
You're welcome.
Here's a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say 32-year-old Brandon Daly is wanted out of Cass County for felony aggravated assault. You can call your local law enforcement if you have any information on him. The North Dakota State Penitentiary is on lockdown after 7 staff members were assaulted. Michelle Linster with the State Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation says the staff were assaulted in 2 separate incidents this week and are seeking medical treatment for their injuries. There will be no visitation allowed while the lockdown is in effect. The 2 incidents are under investigation, and the lockdown will be reassessed on Monday, January 28th. A North Dakota teacher is facing charges for allegedly sending nude photos of herself to a 17-year-old boy on social media. 22-year-old Kelsey Schmidt is facing a luring charge, which is a felony. The Beulah school superintendent says the first-year teacher has been placed on administrative leave, and the school district is conducting its own investigation. Schmidt could face up to 5 years in prison if convicted. A Frazee, Minnesota family is lucky to be alive after flames completely destroyed their home. It happened last night around 10:45 on East Main Avenue. When crews arrived, they found flames coming out of the main entryway and victims still inside the house. Officers broke a window to help a child and an adult female escape the blaze. Both victims were taken to the hospital. Their conditions are not known. A man is recovering after he fell through a ceiling tile at Shanley High School this morning in Fargo. Officials say a contractor that was working on a heating system fell into the library below. About 15 students were in that area at the time of the fall, but are all okay. The worker fell about 10 feet to the ground.
We were in an instructional lockdown, so students were just to remain in their rooms and teachers were to continue teaching. And no students were injured or a part of this at all.
The man was taken to a hospital, and we're told he's expected to be okay. Lawmakers are talking about whether school districts should have the authority to decide if they want an armed responder in their schools. House Bill 1332 is a returning bill from last session that talks about arming someone in schools to make sure students are safe. Representative Pat Heinert says there's no language in the bill that requires a teacher to be an armed first responder. He says school resource officers are the best option, but not all school districts have the money for that. The bill proposes that local schools would decide if they want to mandate this or not.
Having people with weapons walking around and hoping that they can be in the right place at the right time, I think it creates more problems than it solves.
I keep on coming back to protecting the kids and providing an opportunity for some school districts that are limited in opportunities within their communities.
The armed responder would have to go through training and a vetting process. If you want to forget about the bitter cold and get your mind on warmer days, you might want to head over to the Fargo Dome for their Red River Valley Boat and Marine Products Show. It's back for its 27th year. The show is featuring over 200 different boats and pontoons, along with the latest accessories and technology. Seminars on how to use the new technology will be put on by professional angler Jim Carroll the entire weekend. Today, the show wraps up at 9 this evening, and it reopens again Saturday and Sunday at 10. For more information on the show and ticket prices, visit valleynewslive.com and click on this story. People in the FM area know cold is cool. That's the pitch for this weekend's Frostival celebration. But we also know it's no fun to be outside when it's dangerously cold, which is why some events are either canceled or will move indoors. Our latest check shows a half dozen events over the weekend are canceled, and that includes the carriage rides, kickball, human curling, reverse dog sled races, and the Capture the Flag event. The Cocoa Cook-Off, Frosty Flux workouts, and the Frosty Cup competition are still going on, but are being moved indoors. The Kids Boot Camp is still on schedule. You can keep updated on any changes for Frostival by logging on to valleynewslive.com and clicking on the hot button for a link to the schedule of events.